Good morning and welcome. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. I am Maree. It is Monday, the 18th of September, episode 260 something. Might even be 70 something. I can't even remember. I filled it out so long ago. Sorry about last week. The software that I use here had an issue. They had a bug talking to Facebook and just nothing was working. Tried for about 15 minutes and then sometimes you just have to give up, don't you? That's all right. They've obviously got it fixed because I am back. And yes, and I can see coming all in. So that's fantastic news. Everyone that is pretty much from Hawke's Bay south down to Wellington, I hope you're all in one piece. It is a little breezy out there at the moment. We've had pretty much gale force winds for the last 12 or so hours. And I have to say, it is most certainly exceptionally windy here. Managed to get a dog walk in then yesterday and actually do some knitting. So that's a double tick in my book. So we managed to do that, and it is, definitely blowing. And I've even seen some people with trees turned over and all sorts of things, and flights haven't been able to get in and landed, and it's all been, quite a drama. Oh, yes, good morning. Thank you. I can now see both Facebook and YouTube are working. Most excellent. Right, while everyone's coming in, I'll just fill you in from some of the stuff from last week. Because I couldn't get on to talk to you, I thought, well, I'll jump on and do some extra newsletters so you're aware of a few things, because I wanted to talk to you about this on Thursday and couldn't. And this is a dip that we did for Knit August Nights. So that's it there. It is this beautiful, dark, greeny, bronzy, lush dip. It's called Kinabatangan River. And the colours for the dip were inspired by Claire's recent trip to Borneo that she did back a few months ago. And she went up the Kinabatangan River. And if anyone has been to Borneo, and I know that we had some customers who had, it is a preserve that you go up there, and it was the highlight of Claire's trip. She said it was utterly incredible, really amazing. So that is, these are still available. We got quite a few of them done because of Knit August Nights. So we've got the overflow here in the shop. So those are up and available and on our Orb merino base. So it just means the colours just grab, and they're utterly, utterly gorgeous. So if you have missed out on that, or you haven't had a chance to get them, they're definitely available. The other thing I also popped up last week was with our fantasy range, which you guys are loving. You're really loving fantasy. I'm loving fantasy. So fantasy is our 12-ply single roving done with merino, and most of it is done with black alpaca and just a hint of acrylic. And before you people out there go at acrylic, the acrylic is there for a very, very set purpose, and it's actually there because it is a single roving to help the other fibers settle and hold. And it actually is there for quite a functional purpose. Now, it's beautiful and it's so soft and lush. Like, the handle is stunning. Well, we also had a very, very small amount of it that was left over because it's a cancelled order. There was a little bit left over from a previous batch that used white alpaca as opposed to the black alpaca, and we just popped these very, very soft shades over them, and they're utterly beautiful. And those are now up and out, and they're both in the shop and online. So if you were looking at doing some colour work, or those darker, broodier shades didn't sort of weren't your jam, these three shades may look familiar. That's actually the original La Rosa that we do in Perrindale, which is actually our best-selling colour in that range. And we're calling it Briar. That is actually Cape in that range, which is this beautiful sort of lovely Wedgwoody blue. It's called Jetty, and this very, very, and we've actually done a few in this colour, and I'm going to show you another one we've done in this colour. This one's called Cirrus, and it's a white black or a black white, and we've also done it in this as well. Some people have been asking for what we call a cool white, and this is a cool white as opposed to a natural white, natural cream, which is there. So that just puts the two of them together, just to give you an idea. And these are the new Chunkies. And again, these are all sort of leftovers from cancelled orders and bits and pieces that we've got. So we had enough there to put 4 colours over, and we've gone and popped these 4 colours. Now, the reason we've chosen these is because a lot of people love to use these chunkies for things like blankets, wraps, throws, sort of coatigans, cardigans, ponchos, and often what you want is just these really, really lovely, soft, gentle, contemporary colours. And all of these would work beautifully for homewares or beautifully for that style of garment. And we've, with the exception of the natural, which you can get over in warm, we've gone and kept these colours. They're all different to what we have in our warm range. So this is much lighter than the current gull that we have in warm, and these two are completely brand new. I love this. I just think, I mean, that just looks like camel coat, doesn't it? And if you, it just would look so seamless and classic and timeless. It's such a great color. Now, it's a two-folded chunky. What I love about this yarn is that it is 80% wool, 20% mohair. So the mohair is obviously, as you can see, not brushed, but what it does is it just gives the yarn a little extra shine, and the plushness and softness of this is utterly stunning. So that's so those are 4 solid shades. And then we also had some left over, exactly the same count, and this is without the mohair. And so we've just gone and popped those over 3 prints. And these are all actually ex-vintage colours. The top one was tapestry, the middle one was rose hip, and the bottom one was cadet. We've called them broderie, tea rose, and sailor. And we've gone and done them these lovely soft monotones, and again they look gorgeous, either knitted or crocheted up. These, I think these look especially pretty done in blankets. Like, I just think those 3 colours there together as a crocheted blanket. And then if you're wanting to add in a solid contrast to do something really, really pretty on a super fast blanket whipped up, I mean, look at those. Aren't they stunning? Completely divine. Best of all, because we only have limited amounts of all of these, and they're sort of, as I said, we had the stock clearance and clean out here. They did a similar sort of thing at the mill and went through and found all these quirky, weird and wonderful bits and bobs and dyed them all up for us. These will go out at they're going out at $7.95 a ball. I mean, it's amazing. Like, it's only a little over cost. And so we're doing them to clear. So if you're wanting, either you're planning ahead for knitting, or if you're doing knitting or crochet for gifts, like things like, or babies coming up, like quick cot blankets, or fast wraps, or the poncho pattern. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Quick sort of whip up type things. I popped in the newsletter a free hat pattern. These will be perfect. Utterly perfect, and they're fast, and they're great value, and they're all on the sale page right now. So, even if you just get a handful of balls in, or if you're wanting to do a blanket, so for example, if you're wanting to do a sort of a buggy little cot-sized standard small cot-sized blanket, you'd be looking at about 5 of these guys for that. If you're wanting to do a bigger throw, 10. But even that, $10, you're looking at $80 for a decent sized throw. So it is really, really good value. So it's a good time to actually stock and stash up on those. So then you've got them there. So again, as I said, they're all on the sale page. And of course, we've still got the Southlander. So Southlander is on Spotlight. So the Southlander is still there with its discount, or you can get a gift with purchase with any of the Truly Myrtle by Southlander. So Southlander by Truly Myrtle, rather. So any 5 balls gets you a free pattern, printed pattern worth $18. So, just have a good look and get your planning set. All of these will be on sale until the end of the month. So you need to make sure you get your skates on. So they're only set to the end of the month. So that's all what's moving and shaking on the website. Right. In terms of the poncho, I mentioned this. I've put the purple on today. I mean, I'm only really wearing it because I've just got some jeans and a t-shirt on, but we've got this wind, and it's about 20 to 21 degrees here. It's not cold by any stretch of the imagination, but the wind is actually chills it down with that wind chill. So these ponchos are perfect. The incredible Deline has literally, with my chicken scratch, has taken my chicken scratch notes and she has knitted the poncho, knitted a sample in the fate. It looks amazing from the photos I've seen. It's on its way back soon. And she has even, bless her heart, written much of it up. So I'm going to put the final polish on that. I haven't even cast mine on yet. I've got all the yarn there ready to go. Haven't cast it on. She said her comments were it was great TV knitting. Really good TV knitting. And you know me, I love that. I love something that you can just unplug with, and that's what that poncho is designed to do. It's a super fast knit. It's perfect. I mean, as you know, have knit several just using scraps and bits and pieces. I've designed it in such a way in terms of the color. Once you've got the function of the poncho and how it's constructed, which is really straightforward, you can then play around with color, which is what I've done with a number of them. So look at those unicorn yarns, dive through your stash and see what you've got left over. It's not particularly fussy in terms of the weight of yarn. The last one I did it with everything from DK yarn through to 12 ply. A 12 ply single roving in this. So you have a bit of latitude there. You can play around with textures. I mean, this guy here in the front, as you can see, I've got stripes in the front, and then I've gone, would you believe these are both the same yarn? But when I started this, so when you actually start it, because I knitted on the right, your beginning is actually at the back, and then you work all the way around, and this is the end here at the front. I'd literally got halfway through, and I started it in the first lockdown, and it went into actually my banana basket over there, and there it stayed for months and months and months and months and months until the second lockdown. And then I thought, oh, I should really get that out and finish it. And of course, because it had been sitting in the banana basket, it had faded because that was the part that was sticking out. Not that it matters. I don't care. And this is made up with a variety of different yarns that I had in stash. So this is a Malabrigo that I had. I had a couple of skeins of that. There's like some little bits of homespun in there. I had a skein or so of that. There's a tiny little bit of fine mow here, double stranded with a fine sort of weaving yarn. There's this yarn here, which is, if I pull it up this way, it'll give you an idea of what it looks like. Which is a lovely multicolored job. And you were all going, I'm glad you're sitting down. This is 100% acrylic. I know, right? I bought this this particular yarn when I was in the States, and I bought it because of the colors. I'm a magpie, but it's perfect for this, and it doesn't matter because it's not most of it. What else is in there? I've got. Oh, there's another acrylic in there, actually. There's two of them. This other one as well. Same, actually, there was two of these that I bought. There was this one that was more pink predominant, and then there was another one that was more purple predominant. So it's all in here to create this effect. Now, I've given Dell, she's gone and done hers with three colours. Navy is the base, and then a bronze and a sort of a russety colour interspersed all the way through. So I've done the whole thing stripy, but you don't need to do that. You could do it all one colour if you wanted. You could play around. So I'm going to put some colour suggestions there, and she's just dropped it and said it would be super fast with a chunkier yarn. And yes, I have actually done that. I have done it in a chunkier yarn, and all you would do, and I may even pop some notes on there on how to actually size back the number of stitches cast on if you're going to do it in a chunkier yarn. So that may be in phase 2. And I did it with a number of yarns, 4 strands, in fact, held together, which is the green one that you've often seen me wear. And that one, the basis for that yarn was some Malabrigo Rasta, which was the super chunky that I had. Beautiful single roving, soft, gorgeous, lush merino, and then I used that as a single strand, and then I got multiple DKs. I think it was 4 DKs, or it might have been even 3 DKs and a mohair, and there was something with a bit of lurex in it, and all within those sorts of tones, and then interdispersed with that. And that green one I thrashed, and it was so fast to knit up. And I think from memory, I knitted it up on 10mm, or might even been 15mm needles. Super, super, super fast. So it's the sort of thing that you can whip up and have really quick. and just love and just go, oh, this is. And I thrash them. I've now done the first one I did was an Albertine. Then I've done that multi-stranded one, the big chunky one. I've done this one, and then which is mostly sort of DK-ish weight, and then the final one is a mixture of all of them. There you go. Delene said it took her 3 days doing one strand and 8 ply. Yeah, and I've designed it specifically because it is a poncho. You don't have to be a slave to gauge. And that's because it's not designed to be fiddle structured. It's a wrap. So the amount of wear on it is relatively minimal. You don't have to worry about sort of things giving or stretching too much because it's a poncho. It's a wrap. It's not designed to fit or hug. It's just designed like a shawl to sort of envelop and hold. So that's the really nice thing about it. And it is a really comfortable thing to wear. So once I have had a little tutu around with that, I'll get that out for you guys because I am for October, because I'm going to have this, I'm determined to get what I'm showing you finished by the end of the month. For October, I thought we could all do a knit along, poncho knit along. And I want to see everybody going crazy with their ponchos. I want to see different ideas. I want to see color. I want to see just everyone just have a bit of fun with it because we want a bit of fun, and because it's simple, tele knitting, really straightforward. Because we're all busy, it's spring, we're getting out and about. Daylight saving starts next weekend. We're a little bit time poor, and the last thing we need is something that's too challenging. So that's what I'm aiming to do. Now, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, and I know that there are a few, you can go hard out and be as crazy as you like. It would be, loads of fun. So that is the plan for next month. And we've just got so many, have a look at base yarns that we've got. You might like the idea of some Southlander maybe. I love the idea of multi-stranding. So if you've got some 4-ply sport weight rolling around, pull that out, throw some fluff with it, throw some sparkle with it, have a dig out in the stash, design the whole poncho around a single unicorn skein. We'll go through all of that closer to the time, but that's what I think will be loads of fun to do. Some of you may also be doing the West Knits Gradient mystery knit along as well. So, we can, between the two of us, we'll have my lazy knit along, and then there'll be the mystery knit along. So everyone will have loads of fun. So time to show you my work in progress. And I'm pleased to say that I have, even though I worked all weekend, I didn't actually manage to get a little bit of knitting time in. So I'm doing well. I'm just started my second broad mohair. Thank you to the lovely Nola who saved my bacon, because I think I'm going to be okay. But I wasn't 100% certain. And she had a skein of this in her stash. She said, I've got one of those. So she dropped it into me. So thank you, Nola. So I have got a backup on that. So that's the mohair. And I'm doubling it with this delicious 4-ply, which is our 4-ply dyed by the wonderful Sue Goodley. And the two of them together, this is the second one of those I've got. And I've got 5 of these. So I've got heaps of them. It's coming up really well. So there it is there. As you can see, I'm doing Love Note again. So there it is there. But you can see it's starting to really take shape. And I'm about, well, according to the pattern, I'm about 2 inches from starting the back shaping. To be brutally honest with you, I think I might actually squeak another inch in there now that I know that I've got the mohair to play with. Only because from memory, I did actually squeak another inch in with my other with the Stornoway one, and I'll probably do the same here. And the reason I say that is with this one, I'm actually, stop it, I hope you're sitting down, I'm not going to modify this one. I know you're going to wait for the sky to fall in. I know you are. I'm not modifying it. I'm knitting it to the pattern. I know. I can do it. That's what I'm going to do. So because I've done this and I've now already knit a couple of these, so I know what I'm doing. I also know that the sizing, I've actually gone back a size from the original size that I knitted. So the original size I knitted was the 3XL. Yeah, it wasn't the very biggest size. It was one back. So I've now gone back one more. So I think it's the XL It's the Maureen's just saying, "Am I unwell?" I know it's this. It must be the pollen, Maureen. I don't know what it is. I mean, crazy. Me actually follow the pattern. What a shocker! But that's what I'm gonna. So honestly, the body length is the one thing they give you some latitude with. But because I have dropped back a size, I do, and I'm tall. I'm 5'10", so I am going to add just a little bit more length, a little squidgy bit more length. And it's, yeah, but as you can see, it's looking fantastic. The fabric is stunning. Like the feel of the fabric is utterly amazing with that whisper, and that's just the whisper fine mohair that's been dyed, that we did for Stephen B in the full play. It is utterly gorgeous. Delene says she had to modify the boob area for the girls, yeah, and adding length. Yeah, see, fortunately, I'm just on the lace one. Once I give the lace a block, and I had that on the last one, this actually blocks out quite beautifully, and it does give me enough room for the girls. So yeah, and I know that this is going to block out really, really well. Now, for those who have not knitted this and you're looking at that neckline and you're going, I'll let you in on a secret. This isn't the finished neckline. It's a provisional cast on. See, can you see the, oopsie, can you see the provisional, there it is. Can you see the provisional cast on there? So I just use a crochet provisional cast on. I'm lazy. Well, that's just my preference. So so that's when you crochet a chain. Let me just spin this around so you can see it properly. There you go. That's where you crochet a chain, and you can see the top of the chain there. But remember, when you do a crochet chain, you get these little funny bumps at the bottom. These are the funny bumps at the bottom. You cast into those bumps at the bottom. So then when I come to put these back on the needle, it's super easy. I just undo it and then just literally unzip it and slip them all onto the needle. And then you actually work back up with a series of some pretty intensive decreases, actually, heading back in this direction, and then you're ribbing around the neck. So it does settle itself down. So that's what you're doing there. And there is, obviously, they do have some short rows because they do put a slight sway in the back with it as well in the pattern. And then I'll be putting my ribbing at the bottom. And arm length, I'm probably going to go with bracelet length on this, I think. And especially now that I have some extra mohair to play with and I know I'm going to be good. Yeah, I'll go with bracelet length, because the others, yeah, I think the others are all sort of, I actually have, I think probably 3/4 length. Yeah, I do 3/4 length for the other two, but I think I might just make this one slightly longer. And it's, yeah, she's all go. It's all go. The sleeves, actually, because the sleeves are interesting. The sleeves are super quick to knit. So unlike other sleeves, this is a straight kimono sleeve with a very vicious decrease right at the end, and then you're ribbing. So it is, the sleeves go fast because you're just whipping around, and I just get my little short tips and short cable out, and away I go. So I have to admit, unlike some others, which when you're knitting tubes for sleeves and these things, they can be like, oh, they're going forever. This one doesn't. It does zip through super fast. So that's where I'm at. And I haven't had a tremendous amount of knitting time to spend on it because I've just been so busy with a couple of other projects, work projects. But I have, whenever I've been able to slip it in, I can do that. So I'm quite determined. I've been very monogamous. I'm quite determined to get that one finished for the end of the month, because then I want to do the poncho. I want to get the poncho out so we can all poncho along together, which I think will be fun. So that's the plan, Stan. That's where we're going. I hope everyone else is getting all other knitting and it's quite nice, actually, isn't it? With the poncho along, actually, it's a spring clean. I think that would be a good theme for next month, wouldn't it? Spring clean. I haven't done that one. I did that a few years ago. I might do that again because it would be a good time to spring clean out the stash and get rid of all those little weird scrappy bits. I've already got I think I showed you the bag the other day. I've got a bag together of little scrappy bits and pieces that I've compiled which I'm going to use for my poncho, and it's all sorts of little weird and wonderfuls. And in fact, I found a bit of some mohair that was in the green poncho. I thought I'd used it all, and it's got some lurex and stuff through it. It was a trial one that Ian had done a million years ago. I actually found a wound up part ball of that. So that may even get dusted off and whacked in there with the odd row. So I'm going to pull that out of the stash and add it to the bag. And that's the whole point of it, is just to go a bit cray and just have and play around with some color and just have a look at what you've got in stash. I mean, one of the things, so here's a crazy idea, right? I think it would look super amazing to do if you are someone, say, that loves a single color like purple or black, and you've got and you see this in stashes, you've got a whole bunch of yarns all in that shade range, and you saw that with the neutrals that I did, is that, yeah, you just literally knit this sort of melange of almost similar colors that then melt into these new colors. Or if it's something like black, imagine doing a poncho with all different textures of black or black and gray. I think that'd be really cool. Really cool. So anyway, that's the plan. Well, it's the plan now, as of the 18th. But you know me, it could change. It could change. But I'm planning not to. I think this is a good idea. I like this idea. So this is the idea we're going to stick with. The good news is, of course, my partner in crime is now back. Yay! The Claire's back, so that's good. Her and I will be hatching more things, of course, as we always do. And we've got more yarns coming through. We've got a new sock yarn coming. Finally, really excited about that. I know I saw the solids were dyed at the mill, and the prints will be hopefully coming early next month. So that's exciting, something to look forward to. And yeah, we will cook up one or two more things between now and then. I know we will. You know us. That's how we roll. Until then, stay safe. Stay safe out in that wind and enjoy a bit of knitting, and I'll hopefully catch you on Thursday and we can have a good old gas then, and hopefully I can show you a bit more progress on that. Yay! Until then, take care and I will see you then. Bye.